We often look outward to understand the world, but the real journey begins within. It's through asking ourselves the right questions that we begin to truly know who we are.
Hi, I'm Leslie, a counselor and play therapist, and helping you guide you into physical, mental, and emotional wellness through setting intentions and embracing the idea of choice to master our moments. So today's topic is curiosity, and I want you to discover how curiosity is magic in your life. So remember how that felt as a child, that life was so magical. Wasn't life so much more enjoyable before you knew all these things about the world, or the people that exist in the world, or danger or problems? In our childhoods, it just felt a lot more magical, and we were sort of blinded from all of the dangers that could have occurred. Well, most of us. Now, I would say that there were probably some children out there. Being a play therapist, I know I'm working with a lot of children who maybe didn't get to experience this type of curiosity. And maybe that is something that you didn't get to discover. And if you didn't get to discover that, why not try to embrace that now? I know that some people miss out on those opportunities as children, and you can grieve your childhood to some degree that you didn't get to experience that. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be able to experience that into adulthood. And as we become adults, we detach ourselves from this play and say, no, I can't play anymore because I'm not a kid. But play is always about this curiosity and figuring out what you enjoy doing in your life. And that's all kids are doing. They're picking up things and items and discovering, like, ooh, what can I do with this? How can I use this tool, whatever it is? And adults can bring that same sense of curiosity and magic into their own lives to really discover themselves, who you are, who you want to be, the things you enjoy. And when we do that, our lives are going to have so much more meaning, and we'll be going to be so much more fulfilled when we attach this curiosity back into our lives as adults or children or wherever you are in your life journey. So, what exactly is curiosity? It is that it's that I wonder if. It's that moment of, I don't know, but I want to find out. That is the sense of curiosity I'm talking about. And how that relates to our own self-awareness is figuring out that, bringing that curiosity to ourselves. Who are we? What do we enjoy? What do I enjoy? What do I want to experience? How do I want to make a meaning with this one life that I have here to live? Our lives are going to be what we make it. We get to have this freedom, this opportunity of life, and we get to make those choices every single day, how we're going to live. And it's all an experiment and a discovery process. So let me take you on this journey to figure out how you can cultivate curiosity to bring more self-awareness in your own life. So I wanted to share with you a story about curiosity and playfulness. So let me tell you a little secret. In my house, I am not the favorite parent. You might think that because I'm a play therapist, because I work with kids, maybe my own kids would view me as the favorite parent. Not that there really is a favorite parent, but the one that kids are drawn to, that they think is the most exciting to be around, there's typically one person out there, and you might think that it would be me because like that's what I do for a living is play with kids, right? But I'll tell you, it is my husband. My husband has this just very unique sense of playfulness about him. He's a jokester. He makes light of things, and everything is kind of funny or silly. He's always trying to make people laugh. And so my children really want to take after him as well. And sometimes I can feel very envious of him because if we're going on a bike ride, both of my kids are like, I want to ride with dad. Or if we're going in the car somewhere and we have to take two vehicles, oh, well, I want to ride with dad. He's the fun one. And I'm always curious about what is it that makes him so fun? Why are they so drawn to him rather than me? And honestly, you can't really compare because we are two different types of people. But my fun is really different from his fun. He will take a little stuffed animal, let's say, and just, oh, look at you, and play with it on my son and make him laugh and just do silly, goofy things. And I just don't have that intuition or whatever it is to just be that playful in the moment, but it's something that I know that is not a naturals for me, and so it's a skill that I can practice to be more playful with my kids and interact with them in the same way he does. But that's not to say that I don't do things that are playful. I create the plan and the like activities, and we do these different fun things together, and that is my like way of being playful and bringing curiosity to our family. So if I hadn't asked the question of like, I wonder why they enjoy him more than they enjoy me, then I wouldn't have figured out what it is that makes that experience enjoyable for them, and what is it about me that I may want to change or improve upon to be more playful with my children. Curiosity is that catalyst. If I didn't ask those questions and I wasn't curious about it, then I would never find that discovery and that connection and the openness to and self-awareness of myself to say, hey, even though I don't have that particular way of play, they still find my presence enjoyable and we can still play in a different way. Curiosity can break down barriers. So when you are stuck in a certain place, you have a problem, or you're not sure about yourself or who you want to be, then when you add that curiosity, it can break down that barrier to open up those new experiences and to see what's out there that you do want to do, that you do want to be like, that you do want to. Curiosity is the thing that helps you find your passion, right? So actually, right now, I'm helping. My daughter is a teenager, right? She's 16. And so she really needs to embrace this sense of curiosity for herself right now, being so young. And I get this a lot from a lot of teenagers. I don't even know who I am. I don't know what I want in life. But if we have a sense of curiosity, well, what does that look like? What is something I can choose to do to figure out if this is what I want to do? So last night I set up a game and I was trying to figure out how can I create a game for my daughter. She's somewhat interested in wildlife biology, which, so many girls are, but because we travel and we go visit different state parks and national parks, it's just something, and her love of animals, she's just very drawn to it. But we live in a really small place and there's nowhere for her to really go to do job shadowing or to really get a good experience to see if this is something she truly would want to do. And so I came up with this activity and I called it like a mission or a challenge that she has to do. And I found a scenario for her. So the scenario that she's going to work on this weekend is, let's say, hey Molly, you just want some loving. Yes, you do. So like a fox gets hit by a car or something, and she has to figure out what steps she needs to do as a wildlife biologist. What would she do in that situation? How would she do first aid for the fox? Where are some rehabilitation centers that she could take the fox to? How would she take the fox? And I gave her a whole list of questions that she would need to ask to get her to be curious about how she could fix this problem. And then when she's finished, she'll report back to me what she did and how she helped to save this fox. And then each week or so, whenever I decide, I'll give her another scenario for her to do the same thing. And then that way she's taking little bits and pieces of practice, putting some curiosity in there. What would life be like if I was a wildlife biologist? And then that creates her own internal self-awareness of, is this something that I'm going to enjoy? Do I like this? And experimenting with herself and what she enjoys so she can figure out the kind of person that she does want to be, what kind of career she wants to go into, and what kind of lifestyle she wants to live. To improve our self-awareness, it's really important for people to get curious about their minds. What am I thinking? What is going through my head? Because those thoughts are going to create these feelings inside. So if you have a feeling that, regardless if you're feeling like negative feelings or positive feelings, it's important to recognize, okay, I'm feeling this positive feeling, emotion, and name it, or I'm feeling this negative emotion and name it. And then making that connection with, what is the thought? Get curious. What thought triggered that emotion? What am I thinking? And when we can create this self-awareness and put some curiosity to it and say, what is that? Then you can take a step back, realign yourself, refocus, write it down if you need to. And then you have that choice, that moment in time to change what your thought is so that you can change the feeling that you have that's connected to that thought. Sit with that. Sit with that. Be curious about your mind. If things are struggling up here, bring that curiosity. Figure out what those thoughts are, and then set intentions on making those changes. When we can step back, that creates that kind of awareness for us to be able to make the change. Meditation and mindfulness is a really good tool that ignites that curiosity. It gets our brains thinking about, it could be nothing at all, right? That's kind of what we would like to do, is nothing in my mind happens. But when we're still with something and we slowly look at something, observe something, if I'm over here looking at this leaf of these plants and I'm putting in some curiosity, I wonder how this looks. And are these leaves are not going back and forth. They're going one and then another and then one, and they're crisscrossing instead of together. And you can look at different ones of leaves of plants and see how they're made. And when you bring some curiosity to it, it creates a mindfulness, and it's a rest of your mind when you can do that. If you focus your mind and get curious about something, it creates that sense of calmness in your mind. Curiosity can help us create a vision for ourselves. So if we decide that we want something in our life, we can imagine what that is like, and we can be curious about how can that happen. And when we bring that sense of curiosity, when we say, I wonder if, we're more likely to take those next steps and do the next thing, to take the action to get to where we want to be when we envision. It helps us create goals. Saying things like, what if and how could I, is another step in that direction. That vision and goal setting all intertwine to bring in this self-awareness of what we want in our lives and how we can get there. So I want to leave you with just embrace the magic that curiosity can offer you to master your moments. And if you are interested in mastering your moments and cultivating curiosity a little bit more, I actually have a free membership that you can join. And I'm working on creating it right now while I'm videotaping this. So hopefully I'll have it ready by the time this comes out. I think I will. But you can go to my website, www.masteryourmoment.net, and join it for free and get updated on different questions to help cultivate your curiosity. So check that out. And thanks for watching. Go master your next moment.